It's Ms. Simon from Arizona.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I would hope that I am also able to go over my time.
I'm sorry, California.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair, and I, as my colleague did, I hope I am allowed to also go over my time by approximately 45 seconds.
Well, I've been very fair. You've had, Mr. Frost went over a minute and a half.
Okay, I'm just asking. Thank you. I appreciate that, sir. I just wanted to
I didn't say you could, but you can go ahead.
I just want to make sure that I have a fair opportunity to also speak as an individual of this body. Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Ranking Member Lynch. I am so honored to be here today and having this really important conversation. You know, we talked about victim advocacy in this place. Actually, I was a victim advocate. I was a 8133 in San Francisco for many years and had to sit with families who buried their folks, and sitting, literally figuring out how to mend together obituaries. I've worked with young people who have been victims of gun violence and literally have had to scrub blood off the streets. There is nothing that anyone can say to a family, I get it, that is grieving. We have a lot of work to do, not just here in this country, around the world, to deter violence. I come from a state, the fourth largest economy in the world, with the best public education, higher public education system in this country. In fact, at California, Berkeley, we lead some of the research that are keeping folks here and your relatives alive. Those labs and that research is being attacked by this administration, but I digress. I have a number of questions today, but this hearing has been so difficult. Not only was I a victim advocate for many years, working with folks who had witnessed and who had been victimized by rape, by murder. I also led the Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights of the San Francisco Bay Area that was founded by JFK, and our asylum clinic honored the work of this country by supporting folks who came here escaping tyranny and violence to just be met by an immigration system day after day that spat in their face. I'm thankful to both members of the private bar and our community lawyers who are doing their American duty by supporting people who are leaving tyranny. I have actually one question. I'm concerned that we're deflating the conversation around public safety. It's my understanding that the current administration, and this question goes to you, Ms. Perriman, has deducted or stopped payments of upwards of $1 billion in local public safety funding around the country. With my time remaining, can you talk to us a little bit about this very hypocritical moment in time where we're uplifting public safety and yet we're taking resources away from communities, police departments, community safety leaders, and organizations that are taking guns out of kids' hands? Give us a little bit of the flavor. Talk about what money has been taken away from communities under this administration.
Yes, since January, the administration has abruptly terminated a range of funding and grants for community programs across the country, including grants under the Office of Justice Programs, which was obviously a law that President Reagan signed. And there's been over 800 million grants and funding that have been abruptly terminated that we are having to litigate right now. They have also cut off funding for programs that help lawyers and law enforcement become trained in what they're doing in communities across the country to keep people safe. And then I know that one of the colleagues mentioned terrorism, and as part of the administration's broader funding freeze, federal funding freeze that we had to block in the first weeks of this administration and that remains blocked by a federal court, officials from states like Arizona and Oregon swore out declarations in court talking about the risk to counterterrorism funding that they were concerned about with respect to this administration's federal funding freeze. Those are just some examples. Our team is literally in court every single day.
Ms. Perriman, so would you say, is it of your knowledge that police chiefs, their grants have been frozen?
Yes, many people in community safety programs.
And so taking away literally upwards of $1 billion in local public safety funding from around the country, including violence prevention and gun safety programs, would you say this administration is making us more safe or less safe?
Less safe.
Any members, any other governors? Would you have any? I have a few seconds.
We have programs that we work with the federal government between cities, law enforcement, and federal government law enforcement that are being torn apart. And, drug task forces, our gang task forces, gun task forces, this is making us less safe.
Grants for rape kits and rape investigations, the disembowelment of the Department of Education, including the Office of Civil Rights that investigated rape and sexual assault on college campuses, decimated. I would agree that our administration is making us less safe. Thank you, and I yield back. Thank you, Chairman, for the extra time.
Chair recognizes Mr. Perry from Pennsylvania.
Thank you, Mr.